Today, we're going to talk about 3 ways to tell if your customer is ignoring you. Do you ever have one of those customers that is all excited about your deal and loves what you're selling, tells you they're going to do it, you think they're going to do it, they stall you out? Or they tell you they're going to be back and then they never come back. Or they tell you they're going to call you tomorrow and they never call you tomorrow. Or they tell you that they're going to bring their husband back and they never bring their husband back. How much should I invest into that prospect? What they're doing is stalling you out because it's more polite for them to stall you out and then ignore you forever than it is to tell you what they don't like about the deal. Often, they don't like you or they don't like your company, not necessarily your product, and that's why it's so easy and so obvious to you that they were hyped up on your product. That wasn't their problem. So, how do you tell when those people are disappearing on you? There's 3 ways. Number 1, when you leave them a voicemail, they don't call you back within 48 hours. Obviously. Number 2, when you call them 3 times in a row, they don't pick up. I don't know about you, but any time the same number calls me 3 times in a row, I'm going to pick it up because I'm going to find out what in the world does that person need. And the only reason they wouldn't pick up is either A, because they're not available at the time, which they would return your call at least within 48 hours if they were still interested, or they see your phone call and they don't want to answer because they know it's you. And this might be hard for you to hear. You might even be thinking of a customer right now that's done this to you. And here's the final nail in the coffin. If they don't return a text message. If your customer does not return your text and you ask them to be honest with you and you ask them to tell you what's going on and they don't, that means they're ignoring you. That means they're not interested. That means you did something along the way or your company did something along the way that made them not comfortable. Or maybe that your product wasn't right for them, although the chances of that are slim. Move on. Now, the only exception to this rule is if you're in big ticket B2B sales and this is a dream client of yours. In that case, you're going to need to dispel both of those things about yourself and about your company without even talking to them. And so over the next however long it takes for them to respond to you, your communication needs to only rely on providing value for that person. Hit them up on social media, hit them up on email, send them something that they might like, be ahead of industry trends, or even send them something industry trend-wise for your industry or their industry that they might already know. But either way, they're going to take note and say, man, this guy, he really cares about me because he's taking the time to send me this stuff. And eventually, with persistence, you will break that person down. If you're in transactional sales and someone does this to you, likely they went and bought the same thing that you sell from someone else. Don't waste so much time trying to reel in those people, because what you're doing when you're wasting your time on uninterested prospects is in your mind you're saving yourself from reaching out and trying to establish new relationships, telling yourself that it's productive when really it's not. You're wasting your time trying to follow up with someone who is blatantly ignoring you. When they left, that need didn't disappear. And so they're going to go somewhere else and they're going to get it solved with or without you. As soon as you realize those 3 things and that person's ignoring you, just move on. Don't waste your time. Move on and find someone who is interested, who you do jive with, and who does like and respect your company. So if this tip helps you today, then head on over to my profile where you can click on the Sales Espionage link and you can join the group where you can join me and the other covert closers in improving your sales skills.